what made her stick out versus other chefs, to be able to want to be viewed on the screen and have her own TV show. And so what she does is she started with a degree at a culinary school, but she got a degree in culinary arts and pastry arts. And so she kind of learned both aspects of the industry. She wasn't specialized just with one side. She did know how, to make a really good cupcake, but also she knows how to sear, every type of fish. And so that is kind of taken on my inspirations of what I would like to do in culinary school. But then also after culinary school, she started working in upper scale restaurants, and she also started her own catering business. And so that is very inspirational in that she was able to build herself up and work in those fine dining institutions before she did move on to something greater. Some of the benefits from working or being able to be involved with the Food Network are the working hours, just being able to create a concept that has never been explored before, and also just knowing that I'm going into work doing what I love. Every day I'm not gonna, be like, oh, I don't want to go into work. I'm gonna look forward to what I'm gonna be doing every day. And then also one of my final topics that I researched was just in general, what are the latest trends within the industry? Because yes, I can have a knowledge of how to become a caterer or how to be a chef in a fine dining institution, but if I'm not caught up on, what is going on with the food industry right now, I may set myself behind. And so I did want to look into what does need to go or what is coming into 2015 that can prepare me for college, but also just be knowledgeable about what's going on. And so some of the things that were predicted for 2015 are very organic. They're looking at locally sourced meats. They're looking at, healthy kids' meals. They're looking into all of those things that are going to benefit society in general. And so with that, I also looked at the things that have to go, what chefs are moving away from. And some of these things are bruschetta, kale salads, milkshakes, homemade sodas, bacon or Greek yogurt. These are all the things that have been exhausted to their full potential, and it's just, they're tired of it. And so I thought that was very interesting to look at. But then also, one thing specifically that they were saying is that the gluten-free aspect of the industry of, bakeries wanting to do this or being specialized in all of the allergy-free things in food, is that the trend is kind of dying now, but they predict that it's going to come back in about 10 years. So those people that are studying how to do that right now in culinary school and really have, the dream to do that, they're going to be prepared for 10 years when that trend comes back. And so all of these things kind of recycle back and forth, and it never fully dies. And so with my interviews, I did get to interview with a quite selection of people, but my first interview that I had was with Chef Corey Miller, and he is a sous chef at the Grove in Austin, Texas, and I got to learn about all the various things that he does just on a typical work day. He is working in the kitchen, and so that is something I do want to explore because I love having that hands-on with food. And so he got to tell me that he gets everything ready for a daily shift. He makes sure that everybody knows what their task is for the day, but he also gets to help out the executive chef in that if the executive chef is gone, he becomes that, role model in the kitchen. He directs people on what to do. And then I also had an interview with Natalie, and she is the store manager at Celebrity Bakery and Cafe. So I kind of switched gears and went from the back of the house to exploring the front of the house of an institution. And so she kind of explained that she helps maintain, just the store, works out with customer service. She does occasionally get hands-on experience with food, but it's just not as often. It's just kind of if they need extra help in the kitchen. But then also she gets to reach out to the specific customers that, want a catering done for her. So she does get that hands-on experience with, being able to have the aspect of a planner. And then I also talked to Chef Carrie Cook, and they own a Sophisticated Affair Catering. And basically, I got to talk to Carrie Cook, which is the executive chef at a Sophisticated Affair. And, one of the things that she did want to point out to me, the most important thing, is to never lose control in a kitchen. Because as soon as you lose control in the kitchen, that's when, you start losing money. Employees start paying attention less and less to, oh, I'm wasting this much product, but they're not actually realizing that's wasting money as well. And so it's very important to stay in control of the employees that you do have. And then I also talked to the CEO of the company as well. And the main point that he wanted to make clear to me is that it's important to have a lot of capital when you start off your business, because that is going to make the best foundation for your business, and you can grow from there. So it's important to start off with those smaller clients or those smaller parties and events, and then that's when your resume starts building, or your trust starts building with other clients, and you can work up to caterings for 500 people. And then I also had a interview with Heather from Johnny Brown Events, and she is the planner of weddings or events, or anything that somebody needs their event planned or catered. And so basically, as a wedding planner, she does everything. And I thought that was really interesting because I thought oh, they probably just planned this aspect, but they actually do get involved with every aspect of that event or wedding. And so they do the floral arrangements, or they connect with the vendor for the cake, or they do make those different contacts to help get the tasks done. My mentor for ISM this year, his name is Chef Darren McGrady, or he's also known as the Royal Chef. He is known as the Royal Chef because he was the personal chef for Queen Elizabeth II, and he spent some time in the Buckingham Palace for 11 years, and he basically got to travel with the family and got to go on the royal yacht and just help prepare day-to-day meals for whatever they needed or for events. But then he was also the personal chef for Princess Diana and also Prince William and Harry. And he just worked with them for about 4 years, up until the point where the accident did happen. But he just made day-to-day meals for them, and he really enjoyed working with them because he did kind of get involved with the small family aspect and did enjoy working with the young boys at the time. He has also catered for both presidents, or for both Bush presidents, but also did Clinton, Reagan, and Ford. He currently owns his own catering business or personal chef service called Eating Royally, but he is also a chef, an author, a culinary consultant, and an event planner or a public speaker. This is him with Princess Diana. This is also his cookbook. It kind of explains, his experience with working in the palace. He takes the recipes that he used while in the palace, but turns it into a story. And so I think that's very unique that you don't get to see every day in cookbooks. It's not just a book of recipes, it's his experiences and his time spent in the palace. And these are also some people that he catered for: President Bush, also Eva Longoria. And then also he was able to mentor us for our competition team as well. His experience and his knowledge about the latest trends or the best way to cook something was very helpful going through this process with the competition, because it's very inspiring to see someone who has so much experience want to work with high school children or kids and just want to help their process in the competition. So I thought that was very inspiring. And this is also me with the mentor. For my original work in ISM, now that I've, gained knowledge about what I want to do or have a special, insight as, okay, I do want to do fine dining, I kind of wanted to find a way to incorporate everything that I've studied. I just didn't want to specifically focus on one, because what if I wanted to gain knowledge about something else? I wanted to open myself up to all of the topics that I've studied. And so another thing that I was able to look into was I wanted it to benefit the community. I wanted it to help out either someone specifically or an organization going into it as well. And then just in general, to kind of incorporate, working with the ideals of the Food Network, is I wanted to share my passion on a larger scale. So that kind of steered me in the direction of going towards a type of event. And so I finally decided to go with a charity event. And I just wanted to give money back to a charity that will allow me to display all the topics that I've studied, whether it's working in a kitchen or being the event planner for the specific charity event. and planning a menu. So while I'm doing all of these things, I'm also able to incorporate fine dining with, making these aspects on a nicer scale. And so for the charity event, I wanted to do it for a specific person. I wanted to find somebody that, was truly inspiring and, really did give back to the community. And so what I did is I found this little girl. Her name is Julia, and she actually attends my church. But she had acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and she's in 4th grade. But I found her inspiring because she is so happy, and she is so, excited just to do small things, or she's excited to help out the community and help other children going through hard times, And I just think it's very inspiring that she was able to find the energy and find the excitement to help other people on top of the things that she was going through personally. And so I think that's very inspiring for someone at such a young age to be able to do that. And so with the whole process, I wanted to kind of plan the event all around her. So whether it had to do with the design or the floral arrangements or the menu, I wanted to be all about her. And so with examining, everything that she likes and everything that she loved, I felt that it was most logical to have the event at the Career and Technical Center, because that's where my whole journey began. That's where I found and solidified my passion for the culinary industry. And, they have an open training room, so I can hold, several people for the event. But also at the venue, I want there to be accents of pandas. Julia's favorite animal is panda. She loves panda everything. And so I want to incorporate that by including the colors of black and white, but also having panda accents by maybe making panda cookies that can help raise more money at the event. And also I would like to incorporate the color pink. And so I felt like the best way to do this would be through the floral design. And so that is something that I did want to look into. And then also at the event, I knew I wanted to explore my hands-on experience with food. So I wanted to serve, these people a fine dining aspect of, my experience of knowing how to incorporate all of her favorite foods while they're at the event. And so I did want to put my own personal fine dining twist on it, but take her favorite foods and turn that into a 3-course meal versus having small hors d'oeuvres. So these people will be able to come and sit and enjoy each other's company. And so what I needed to do from there was I wanted to meet with Julia. I did need to learn all of her favorite foods. I did need to learn just more about her and just get to know her in general, because she is so inspiring. And so once I got to meet with her, I did want to, start planning the menu with my mentors and contact those vendors that are going to help me do that. And so I was starting to incorporate those aspects of being an event planner versus just being a chef. And then I also needed to create media pages and also start advertising the event, because that is what's going to get people to come. And then also my final step was just look for people to help with the execution of the event. And so I did get to meet Julia, and my experience with meeting her was everything and more. She lives up to, everything that I expected, and she is so sweet and so kind, and she is so, just so mature for her age. And I was able to talk with her and learn all of her favorite foods and just learn a little bit more about her. Her mom mentioned, what are your plans for college, or, what are you kind of looking for after high school? And so I explained, I may go to college just to get basics done. And she immediately looked at her mom. She goes, Mom, I think I'm going to do that too. I think I should get my basics done. And so I just thought that was so cute that she was just, kind of already talking to their mom about just things that she did want to do whenever she was older. And so with talking with her, they did figure out which organization they did want to donate the money to that we will raise at the event, and they did want to donate to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. And this foundation is where they donate money to help find a cure for cancer. They help specific families that are going through this tough time, but it's specifically focused on childhood cancer, because awareness does need to be brought to that, because there is a lot of attention on breast cancer, which is great. and, you know, a lot of other societies as well dealing with cancer, but, you know, child cancer does need to be recognized. And so going further into